feature match area. Let's go ahead and jump in. We've got madhatted on mono green elves. We've got telemokos on mono black. Go ahead and see what happens here. I love watching this elf deck because like if we blink or like start talking about something and not watching the match, like all of a sudden there's just like 15 creatures on the board. We have no idea what happened. So it looks like madhatted won the die roll. He's on the play. He's got a Nettle Sentinel. Going to start the beatdown plan early if telemokos doesn't have some way to interact.
Absolutely. Sentinel's a great threat for Pauper. Very strong. One of the only, I can't think of another one drop that's so big in the format.
Yeah. It's a very, very, I mean, Delver's technically a 3/2. Gurmag Angler's technically a 1 mana 5/5. But in general, Nettle Sentinel is huge. One of the few cards that's pricey in the Elves deck as well. Ooh, and here are those witches. So this could really put a damper on this if madhatted's not able to generate a huge board here. Now, he does have a lot of mana available to him on this turn.
Yes. Now, let me ask you something. Do you appreciate the mana base that Kevin has graced us with this evening?
I believe Kevin is madhatted. Is that right?
Yes, madhatted. The mana base.
Yeah, he just has a bunch of forests and an island.
Well, I was saying that the fact that they're unhinged.
Oh yeah, I mean it's beautiful. Does he have Disemboweled here? Is he just going to draw a bunch of cards?
That would be gross.
Looks like he's just going to play a bunch of elves.
Maybe his thought. Well, I don't see one in his hand, but that would be pretty gross at this point, even just to draw 3. Yeah. That Huntmaster is fantastic here.
Yeah, here's a Huntmaster. So one of the nice things about this elf deck is that like Huntmaster is such a powerful card. And because you're playing just like a bunch of 1s and 2s, you're pretty well insulated from Chainer's Edict and the Edicts, which are really, powerful cards in the format. Here we're going to see Telemokos does have an oubliette to, make its best Oblivion Ring impersonation and take care of this Huntmaster. And I imagine the witches are going to pick off that Priest of Titania.
I would suspect.
If Telemokos didn't have that oubliette, that Huntmaster could actually win this game all by itself.
Absolutely. Huntmaster probably one of the better. I mean, obviously the more mana-intensive threat than the Timberwatch. Speaking of which, here comes that Timberwatch.
Yeah. So Timberwatch.
I love the pace. Oh, go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Yeah, Timberwatch as a 1/2 is real nice against these witches.
Now, Timberwatch is just, and I was about to say I appreciate the pace at which Kevin is playing. I mean, he is playing a relatively straightforward deck, but that's just nice. And we can go from like a relatively super slow grindy match that went to almost the entire allotted time to playing something that's a little more fast paced, this matchup.
It definitely is. Witches here are going to take out that Sylvan Ranger, going to put a damage back on Telemokos. I think we might just see an Edict here. Oh, Victim of Night. Well, that's going to pick off that Timberwatch elf. Victim of Night, I believe, is just a 1-of in this list, right?
Timberwatch? That would blow my mind. It's so
Victim of Night.
Oh, Victim of Night is. Thank you. Yes, it is.
Well, it's real good there, let me tell you.
Oh, Victim's always been fantastic in these these mono black control. I mean, there's all of their mana sources produce black mana, so I think I like it more than like some of our Doomblades for sure.
Now, I agree with that. This Birchclaw Rangers though is going to let him kind of combo off a little bit here, draw some cards, play a bunch more elves. Eventually, at some point, if Telemokos isn't able to get something like a Grey Merchant down to gain some life, these witches combined with these Nettle Sentinel beats could just actually end this game.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of chip damage here. Some of it from the witches, I agree with you. Some of that this Sentinel has been here this whole game, just beating in there for 2. Yeah, consistently,
relentlessly attacking every single turn.
And the thing about the witches is it could block the Sentinel and then ping, but I think that Telemokos is correct in using the witches proactively.
Oubliette's going to take care of that Priest of Titania. That way the witches can kill off the Birchclaw Rangers and constrict madhatted on mana. But I kind of feel like I would have rather just oublieted the Nettle Sentinel and then killed the Priest of Titanium with the witches. Like, the Nettle Sentinel is primarily what is making the Birchlaw Rangers be very good. So once you get rid of the Nettle Sentinel, it reduces the effectiveness of the Birchlaw Rangers.
I agree with that. And here's something else. Now that Matt Hatted is on top deck mode, does the role of the Kabaji Witches change, Chris? Will it be blocking that Sentinel and then ping instead of proactively ping?
I think it has to, but that just makes a top deck Distant Melody very, very good. Oh, but a Disfigure is going to be a huge top deck there.
And then we can continue to use the Witches proactively, probably taking out the Priest. No, I would take out the Well-Wisher. He takes out Priest, though.
Yeah, take out the Priest.
Oh, he has
another Witches. Man, if he ever gets to play Grey Merchant, it's going to be huge.
Yeah, these Witches do have a cost. I mean, they do. So you get to choose. They're kind of an interesting card. You know, you get to choose where a damage goes, and then your opponent gets to choose where a damage goes. So
yeah, it's very interesting.
No prodigal Pyromancer.
Similar to Fireslinger from Tempest.
Okay, I can see that comparison.
But the fact that it's a 1/3 is awesome when you need it on defense.
The card is absurd.
And the fact that it's black works so well with Grey Merchant.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the mono black devotion deck in Standard would have been like had Witches been legal in Standard?
Or seen like a reprint, you mean?
Yeah, like they would have just reprinted it.
That deck was already too good, Chris. Don't get me started on those Pack-Rat Sphinx's Revelation days. Good lord.
I loved it. I just Stormbreath Dragon and Rakdos returned all my opponents. Xenagos the Reveler. None of you popular control decks can beat this card.
You found a nice niche.
Yeah, Rakdos Return. That card is great. Ever cast it? I did a lot.
Return was pretty fantastic. I do remember. God, those were like the two decks, though, weren't they? It was like you were playing mono black or you were playing like a Sphinx's Rev control.
Pretty much. All right, well, the Witches are just going to mow down these elves. There are just like 100 elves in Mad Hatted's graveyard. Telemokos is down to 5. Now he's down to 4.
Going to 4.
There's no gut shots.
No, earlier I misspoke. Right? 4 gut shots. Earlier I misspoke. I said the only draw that Blogger had was Sign in Blood, but that's not true. They both run the playset of Rager, so there's a little more draw than I was letting on earlier. They have the playset of Rager, those cantrip, and of course the playset of Sign in Blood. But he is taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah,
he'll have to attack with these Witches, but I mean, I think he's just closing this game out. Mad Hatted really can't get a foothold in this. Ooh,
yeah. We've got
that would be the Birchwood Rangers, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'll be a Birchwood Rangers. We've got 12 black pips. Yeah. I'm waiting for a Grey Merchant just to come hang out.
Yeah, I mean he's. Ooh. We're not
even going to take care of the Birchwood Rangers. We're just going to crash in the red zone.
This does feel like it favors the mono black control, but remember, Elves looked like it was so dominant. He scoops them up.
Well, Witches on 2 against Mad Hatted's hand this game was very, very, very good for him.
It was absurd. How many times did he ping with those Witches?
Too many. But the sideboard changes things. Because like we saw with Mad Hatted before, he's got some spicy numbers in his sideboard for this mono black deck. So let's go ahead and take a look at Mad Hatted's sideboard. We've got a Viridian Longbow, 2 Rapid Vigor, 3 Gleeful Sabotage, 3 Thermokarst, 2 Scattershot Archer, a copy of Fog, a Luminescent Rain, and 2 copies of Spider Silk Armor. How do you think he's going to sideboard?
I love the Spider Silk Armor in this matchup. A lot of the things that we're going to see from Telemokos coming in out of the board, especially the Nausea and the Shrivel, they're going to want to take advantage of the low toughness, or even the Kabaji Witches we saw take over that game.
Absolutely.
They're going to try to take advantage of the low toughness that these elves mostly have. Spider Silk changes all that, giving them that extra just 1 toughness that they need to survive a lot of those kinds of attacks. We're also going to probably see the sabotages come in. They give you outs to the oubliette. They especially need to come in because of the pestilences. We're probably going to see more pestilence in the deck after board.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. I don't like that sabotage is a sorcery and not an instant. So
yeah,
there's a chance that like with 6 mana, Telemokos could just play pestilence and then wipe the board.
Yeah.
But you do have to bring in at least 1 or 2. I mean, we can see here. Oubliette on that Huntmaster. Lethal Sabotage takes care of that. This game is much different.
Yes.
As for Telemokos, it looks like he has a Bajuka Bog, another copy of Pestilence, 4 Choking Sands, a Font of Return to Nausea, 2 Relic of Progenitus, a Shrivel, and 3 Wrench Mind in his sideboard. How do you think he's going to board?
I think we're going to see 3 cards come in. It's going to be the Pestilence, the Nausea, and the Shrivel. I feel like Wrench Mind is powerful. It's fine, but I think it's not really for this matchup, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I don't think you want Wrench Mind. Like, as we saw there, Madhatted was hellbent very quickly. I think we just want as much removal as we could possibly have. In addition to that, Corrupt.
You like this Corrupt?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a way to gain life if you have to spend your early turns using your witches. But it looks like our players are ready and battling, so let's go ahead and jump back down to our match. For those of you just joining us, thank you so much. I'm Chris Van Meter here with Sean Abrams, Bruce by the Magic Guy, and we are covering the Cardhoarder Network Pauper Challenge. We are currently in round 2 between Madhatted on Mono Green Elves and Telemokos on Mono Black. Madhatted is down a game, so Telemokos currently has the advantage. Madhatted starting out very quickly with a Force and a Nettle Sentinel here. After mulliganing to 6, though.
How well do you think this Elves deck mulligans, Chris?
Probably extremely poorly.
I would say so. I mean, it needs to have that just
yeah
burst of Elves.
There's a chance that you could like turn 3 Distant Melody for 1,000,000 cards, but you really want access to all your cards.
That's the dream. You know, without well, he has one in hand, of course, but without the Sylvan Ranger or without the Burslore, the deck would have to naturally draw that island to be able to cast those Distant Melodies. But the deck, it supports that blue splash very well.
It does. It does.
Now, despite, Telemokos, Andrew being a very showsy guy, he has not really graced us with a beautiful mana base this evening, has he, Chris? I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, the full art BFC lands is not bad.
Right, but look at the next land he's going to have to play.
I mean, sometimes you just got to blaze your own trail. You don't go along with what everybody else thinks you should be doing.
Now this time he's got the disfigure for that Sentinel that banged in for a whole lot of damage that first match.
Yeah. Elvish Visionary is going to draw Madhatted a card. He is going to lose his Sentinel to a disfigure. Telemokos is just going to refuel back up to 7 cards with a Sign in Blood, falling to 16 in the process. But unless Madhatted can put some pressure on, those extra cards are going to be very good for him.
Indeed. We'll see if Madhatted can get something going here. Yep, there's that island. I mean, that's what the Ranger's purpose is in the list, right? Just to grab that island.
Yeah, or a forest if you need it to.
I could see that. It seems like a fine 2-drop.
Man, Chittering Rats seems like a real good brick wall here.
Yes. I mean, against an army of 2/2s or 1/1s and a 2/2 seems great.
Yeah, I mean, if I can trade my rats here for this Nettle Sentinel, I think you trade every day.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that is exactly what Telemokos has done.
But there's
that Huntmaster, though. Do we have the answer? I don't think we do.
There's another Chittering Rats.
But this is the beginning of the end, isn't it, Chris? Like an unanswered Huntmaster from the Elves deck can spell an early doom.
It can, but he has no cards in hand. So, like, his last card just got put back on top of his library. It is an elf, so Corinne Ranger is going to give us another elf. Interesting here, I don't know if he attacks with his Huntmaster or not. He's going to. He risks losing it to a block plus a disfigure.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he's not going to attack. He's thinking about it.
Oh, maybe he's listening to your commentary, Chris.
Maybe.
We haven't had a problem with cheating at all. The players have been very good so far.
Yeah, I probably actually attack with the Sylvan Ranger and the Elvish Visionary here too.
Mm-hmm. You might as well jam in. We're going to go so wide here, right? I mean, every elf that Mad Hatted top decks, as long as the Huntmaster stays on this battlefield, will render him another 1/1. Why not just spend the other 1/1?
Correct. Plus, like, we're to the point of the game now where if Telemokos draws like a Pestilence, the 1/1s are just like worthless anyway.
Mm-hmm. Getting that extra point of damage. I agree with that assessment. But his draw was a force.
Unfortunately.
Yes. Oh no, excuse me. He used the Ranger's ability.
Yeah.
His hand he was hellbent.
Sugar Rats. Well, he does have 5 lands now, so if he lands the Gray Merchant here, it bumps him back up to 16, puts a 2/4 on the battlefield, which will stop the Huntmaster from attacking. If Mad Hattie can draw into something like Distant Melody here, just draw 5 cards, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you though, Chris. I still feel like this isn't Telemokos' hands. Ooh,
Oh, absolutely. He is definitely in good shape here.
See, he's not gracing us with a beautiful mana base, but he did have the full art Sign in Blood.
Yeah. Ooh. Now we have a Gurmag dealer, so he's not going to go with the. He's not going to go with the Gray Merchant, but this 5/5 is going to be plenty big. Oh, did we draw Distant Melody? Draw 5.
Oh, jeez.
And he gets to bounce a forest.
Uh-huh.
To use that Kryn Ranger again if he doesn't draw a land. Any elf is just going to produce another elf with the Huntmaster. And then next turn, things get real. Oh, Birchlore Rangers was his draw.
Oh, ooh. Tap 2. Oh, we're going to combo.
We might combo off here. What do we got? This is great.
You're loving this.
Yeah. I also want to see Telemokos draw Pestilence right off the top.
Chris? There's a Pestilence in his hand.
Oh, man, he must be salivating right now. Just chomping at the bit.
Oh, if you're Mad Hatted, do you smell the Pestilence? No, you just got to keep going, right?
Oh, no.
Wait, did he find that? Oh, I was hoping that 3 mana he was floating was for the spider, the enchantment, the spider silk. Mm-hmm. But that wouldn't even save him because right, he's gonna as you foretold, Chris. Pretty sure you're the reason that Mad Hatted screwed here.
Oops, sorry, man.
You called it. He's gonna have 6 mana with the Pestilence, be able to activate it twice. Oh no. No.
This is Frown Town.
Oh God. Poor Mad Hatted. You know, he came so close to beating Mono Black last time, but again, this Pestilence is just debauchery.
Oh man.
Does he attack with the Angler?
Nope.
He does not. He does not want to trade it with the Huntmaster. Okay, that's reasonable.
He can try and rebuild here, but this Pestilence is just going to keep killing.
Yep, Angler plus Pestilence, they get along great. Great synergy. Yeah, if you're Telemokos, you just triple activate this Pestilence. Why not? Kill off this Huntmaster.
Yeah. Man, that's rough.
It's over.
That is real rough.
This just seems like a very hard. You were so excited with that Distant Melody turn, though.
Oh yeah, it was great. Maybe he should have stopped and just like not made all of the tokens. Just like made enough to win on the next turn with an attack if your opponent has nothing.
I think he did get a little carried away. Now, Mad Hatted's probably our youngest member. I don't know if you knew that, Chris. He's I think he just got into college. I think he's just barely in the college age region. So he's like, he might not even be in his 20s. He's kind of a younger guy. So I know when I was playing Magic back then, and I had the ability to go like ridiculously wide, just do all these ridiculous things. I would not hesitate. I would play all of the spells.
Yeah, 100
But,
years ago.
It was only 100 years ago. It was only 100 years ago. What does that make you? 200 years, Chris?
Yeah, at least.
Kidding, friend.
Man, yeah, this is just over. You
Yeah.
can just Pestilence for 3 and win, right?
Yes, that would be 13.
Man, Pestilence. Why is this card a common?
It's also a common in paper, though.
Yeah, it was an Urza Saga at common. Why is this card a common?
Because they didn't know what they were doing at that point.
Oh, so rough.
Yeah. Now, when they time shifted Pestilence to what's the red counterpart of Pestilence? Do you remember? It's like
Pyrohemia.
Thank you, Mr. Van Meter. Pyrohemia was properly printed at Uncommon, if I'm not mistaken.
It was.
So.
Later versions of Pestilence were uncommon. Like, it was just a common in Urza Saga, strangely enough.
I think that Wizards over the years has gotten so much better at figuring out rarities for sets, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. They're much better now than they were in, 1997. Oubliette's going to take care of that Hot Master.
Couldn't we have won the game this turn?
We could have, but now it looks like he's just going to win the game next turn.
Is he going for the Rubbins or what? Andrew doesn't.
I don't know.
Telemokos doesn't strike me as the type.
Well, that's going to be it. Telemokos is going to take this match 2-0 over Madhatted. That's going to move him on to 4-1, putting him in a really good position to try and secure one of these spots in the top 4. Let's see if we have a backup for you guys.